Many trading card games of all shapes and sizes have come and gone. Some remain, but only one evolved to capture life on Earth as it has never been presented before. A trading card game called MYA. Believe it or not, trading cards have been a thing for well over 100 years. Back in the late 1800s, cigarette companies put cards with collectible bits of art on them in the back of their cigarette packs to protect them from damage. Over time, these cards became more and more prized, and they evolved into cards with art of pop culture of the time, to early baseball cards with just the guy and name of the guy on the card, and eventually to the trading cards we know of today, including Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Throughout all of that evolution, trading cards with a dinosaur theme have cropped up every now and again. For the majority of these paleontology-themed card series, they only functioned as cool art cards. Very rarely were they gamified or made to educate the collectors. A new company has set out to completely recontextualize the paleo trading card game scene, MYA, which is short for Million Years Ago. Their sponsorship for this video has allowed me to finally partner up with them to tell you about a product that I personally think is pretty cool. So, what's their deal? MYA is a passionate and innovative startup company dedicated to delivering an unparalleled experience to collectors, science enthusiasts, and game players alike. They've partnered up with award-winning paleo artists from around the world to produce their unique, state-of-the-art pieces that showcase what is currently known about life of the past. When it comes to depicting prehistoric species, MYA is one of the only brands in the world that uses actual scientific research publications while developing products. MYA pays attention to detail and maintains the rarely seen balance in artistic depictions between both looking good and still being rooted in real science. MYA's cards even use genuine scientific names and terms, including the species names as well as the genus names, something most companies don't even understand. MYA doesn't just focus on the big names of the past either. MYA also gives spotlight to lesser-known fauna and flora that are equally as fascinating. In a world where the representation of dinosaurs and prehistoric life is limited to a handful of frequently overused icons, MYA is on a mission to broaden the public's understanding with a never-before-seen depth from the world of prehistory and bring a refreshing new breath into dinosaur and prehistoric products. By representing a more diverse assortment of real species, real scientific processes, and real historical figures and events, MYA gives serious fans and scientists from the paleo community something incredibly exciting to dive into, and gives casual fans an opportunity to explore and learn more about the world of paleontology and natural science. They currently offer 3 ways to get their cards. Booster packs, which contain 9 assorted cards, 2 rare cards, and 1 collector's rare. Starter kit boxes, which come with 6 booster packs for a total of 54 cards. An MYA game coin, a foldable paper playing field, 60-point chips, and a pocket rulebook to play the game. And finally, the booster box, which comes with 36 booster packs for those super collectors. Their cards are amazing in hand, as you can really tell these things are made with high-quality materials that won't be bending willy-nilly just by shuffling them around. These things ooze premium. And if you're lucky, you might just be able to find something incredibly rare in your pack of cards. MYA has also gone out of their way to create a rarity system based on precious gems and minerals, just to amp the collectible nature of their cards. There are 7 card rarities: Normal, Rare, Collector's Rare, Piratized, Ambered, Opalized, and Mummified. Some of these rare cards are so hard to encounter that if you find one, you might be looking at one of only 2 in the world of its kind. Their first series is Dawn of Hell Creek, which covers nearly every single plant and animal discovered from the sediments of the Hell Creek Formation, that covers areas of Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Wyoming, including everyone's favorite Tyrannosaurus. Let's take a look at some cards to see what I get. Ziziphus fibrillosus. Plants may seem boring to some, but they are some of the most important organisms on the planet and have produced some truly amazing forms, so there is no reason to leave them out in such a comprehensive series. Ziziphus fibrillosus is a fossil leaf that likely belongs to the buckthorn family, meaning this thing would not have been fun to literally run into. Crassostria subtrigonalis. The majority of organisms that lived at the time and place of the Hell Creek Formation were familiar to us, and Crassostria subtrigonalis is no exception, as it's simply an extinct species of the still living and incredibly delicious Crassostria genus of oysters, otherwise known as the Atlantic oyster. If you have tasted oysters in the east coast of the United States, you probably ate a living species of this prehistoric oyster genus. Accipenser praeparatorum. Sturgeons look prehistoric. Though this is our weird human bias, they actually happen to be quite old. The oldest true sturgeons start appearing in the Cretaceous period, and one of their many examples is the recently described Accipenser praepatorum from 2022, named from fossils found at the universally controversial Tanis site that is purported to hold evidence of the very day the asteroid struck the Yucatan Peninsula 66 million years ago. Fossil exhibition. Everyone loves a good fossil exhibit, especially dinosaur skeletal exhibits in the main halls of natural history museums. Triarchunkus prairiensis. This little critter was a member of the extremely bizarre Alvarezsaur group of theropod dinosaurs, known for losing all but one giant clawed digit on their hand, which they used for a list of variously plausible purposes. Triarchunkus here proved that these animals had dispersed throughout North America. Not a big surprise, since they have been found in Eurasia, Canada, and South America prior to this one's discovery. Nanotyrannus lancensis. Whoa, weird, they threw in an extra Tyrannosaurus card in this game? Just kidding. Nanotyrannus is easily one of the most controversial inclusions in this card game. Known exclusively from juvenile to very early adult specimens, it goes back and forth as to whether it is its own unique genus and species living alongside Tyrannosaurus, or whether it's a representative of Tyrannosaurus juveniles. That's all depending on who you're asking, of course. But since they made this card a junior card to Tyrannosaurus Rex, it's possible they might be hinting at their own preference in this drawn-out debate. Fossil preparation. Easily the most important and most undervalued job in the field of paleontology. After all the backbreaking and heavy lifting of field work is completed, the real long work begins to finally etch the rocky matrix away from the real fossils. Without these highly skilled workers, there would be no analyses, descriptions, or even museum displays. Nilsoniocladus yukonensis. This species was a member of the now extinct Bennetatales order, which once enjoyed global supremacy. This species seemed to be one that was closer to the ground than others, growing in a way that I have yet to find a good descriptor for. It's sort of a shrub, sort of a tree. It's like a very twiggy or sparsely leaved shrub. Anyways, these things may have made some good grub for the herbivorous dinosaurs. Phyllodes pulcoi. Here's an interesting and very niche fish that probably only fossil hunters, fossil collectors, and paleoichthyologists know about. Phyllodes is an extremely tough genus of bony fish that carried around a mouthful of globular, pavement-like teeth to grind up hard foodstuffs. The darn thing lasted from the end of the Cretaceous to the middle of the Miocene. Ornithomimus velox. Hell Creek had two very similar but equally famous ostrich dinosaurs, Ornithomimus and Struthiomimus. Ornithomimus velox was named first and sported a pair of arms equipped with very dexterous fingers, with some nasty curved claws. Alphodon marshii. It seems as though this series tends to prefer type species, as Alphodon marshii is another. These small mammals were distantly related to modern marsupials and looked like a cross between possums and rats or shrews. Alphodon were not the smallest, with some reaching as much as a foot or 30 centimeters in length. Spherothalus buckholtzae. Spherothalus is a small dome-headed dinosaur that happens to be one of the most speciose genera of non-avian dinosaurs, with a total of 5 species known to science. Spherothalus buckholtzae is one of 2 species found in the Hell Creek Formation and is known, similarly to the other species of this genus, only from dome fossils. Struthiomimus sedens. This one is an interesting choice, as it is based on a specimen that is currently difficult to square. An ornithomimosaur, USNM 4736, was found in Lance Formation deposits in Wyoming in the 1800s and named Ornithomimus sedens by Othniel Charles Marsh. This specimen was tricky as it contained traits seen in Struthiomimus and Ornithomimus, so the species has switched between these 2 genera in the preceding century. Lonchidion salachos. Hypodonts were very shark-like cousins of the true sharks, with enormous spines holding up their dorsal fins. They evolved in the Devonian and lasted to the K-pig extinction. Lonchidion is a very long-lived genus, lasting from the mid-Triassic to the end Cretaceous, and they carried a set of low-crowned teeth for crushing hard prey items. Scotiophrine pustulosa. Frogs have been around for a long time, so it shouldn't be surprising they were living with Tyrannosaurus. Scotiophrine is a small frog that lived in brackish and freshwater environments. It would have made a great snack for small theropods. Liriodendron laramiense. Liriodendron is a still-living genus of tulip tree as part of the Magnolia family, thus making it part of the flowering plants that had begun to explode in diversity near the end of the Cretaceous period. Joseph Leidy. Joseph Leidy is probably the most important paleontologist no one has ever heard of. He was one of the founding fathers of American vertebrate paleontology and an extremely prolific scientist in the fields of paleontology, parasitology, and anatomy along the East Coast for many decades throughout the early to mid-1800s. He published over 500 works throughout his life and is responsible for Hadrosaurus, Smilodon fatalis, the dire wolf, American lion, giant sloths, and many more. Joseph Leidy was also Edward Drinker Cope's teacher and was sadly driven out of the field by the intense rivalry between Cope and Othniel Charles Marsh during the infamous Bone Wars. Very cool he's getting a shout out through MYA. Marmarthia trivialis. This plant is a laurel tree known from 3 species. Their leaf shape was generally round with a few points on the front edge, and the plant grew in big bushy tree or bush configurations. Alright, I'll stop. There are 90 unique cards in the Dawn of Hell Creek series, and that would take me like an hour just to talk about. So, you have a good idea of what the company is and what the cards look like. But besides collecting them, what can you actually do with them? MYA's cards immerse you and a friend
in a player versus player strategy game
that evolves with every new card series.
You can battle your opponents and formulate your strategies
through each card's strategic advantages.
The starter pack
comes with a paper playing field and a rulebook to teach you the game, but the ins and outs of the strategy is outside of my pay grade, so I'll leave it to the dedicated gamers and gamer YouTube channels to figure it out. The last interesting aspect of this
new breed of trading card games
is its digitization. MYA is one of the very first phygital card games. They have the physical cards, but those cards also come with unique digital codes printed near the bottom of the face of the card that can be entered into MYA's own website to claim the same card digitally, hence connecting the physical and digital versions of a card. Therefore, no 2 cards are the same. According to MYA's own words, access complimentary services on our website made possible by our private blockchain system. Claim your cards on our website to record ownership, verify authenticity, and manage your card collection online with special galleries to show your friends. They are run by people who have at least some understanding of the science behind the critters they are plastering on their cards. As such, they are not unaware of the weight that the term blockchain may have, so they take pains to point out that they don't, and honestly can't, use cryptocurrencies or NFTs in their system. It's simply built using a different species of the blockchain technology family, one that has been widely accepted and used around the world for over a decade. These cards are incredible, and I highly recommend them if you're looking for something awesome from the prehistoric world to dive into, or if you're looking for something to give to someone that loves dinosaurs and paleontology. You can purchase Dawn of Hell Creek products on the MYA website, myacards.com, or on Amazon. What? Huh? A new challenger approaches? An all-new series of MYA cards is going to focus on the next most famous geologic formation, the one that produces some of the largest dinosaurs to ever live, the Morrison Formation. Meet MYA's second series,
Jurassic Regency.
You can encounter, collect, and battle with some of the biggest dinosaur favorites like Allosaurus, Stegosaurus, and Brontosaurus. Dive into the Jurassic period over 145 million years ago through MYA's Jurassic Regency, with up to 90 different card names and 8 different card rarities joining you on your adventure. This series is expected to arrive December 2024, and you can pre-order them now on the MYA shop. For more interesting stories about nature, the history of life, or what goes bump in the night, subscribe, like this video, drop a comment in the comment section below, and hit the bell icon to stay in the know with everything Edge. Thanks for watching.